The whole bardinette thing on Twitter, by the way, it kind of makes me a little bit upset because people that often criticize other for like cognitive dissonance and like not like reading or even like actually engaging with what the person's saying. So, for instance, I think that what bardette does is actually totally legitimate. I think it is totally legitimate because I think that roaming Janna top lane, roaming Bard top lane, roaming Lulu, I think all of these things are still legitimately real. So, I think what he does is legitimate. It just makes people upset because of the way that he plays. Well, listen, back in my day, there was a player called... So, there was two players. There was the non-Korean and then there was the Korean. So, the non-Korean, his name was Octoberzerg. No one wanted to play against Octoberzerg, right? Everyone got pure cancer, okay, playing against Octoberzerg. No one wanted to play with him. Then, there was a Korean player, and his name was Kwanro. No one wanted to play against Kwanro because of the way that they played. But it was like a way to play. Now, don't get me wrong, like Kwanro, he was like a round of 64 level player. He wasn't anything special. I mean, 64, like top 64 in the world's fucking crazy, but like, it was legitimate ways. Now, in League, the reality is that I think if you had a player that was really fucking crazy on Bard, like really crazy on Bard as a top laner, right? And then I think this is over, by the way. Tyler can't carry. The champions are too hard. Champions are actually just too hard for him to carry. He can't deal damage. He has 1.5 items right now. It's just so brutal. The other problem for Tyler is that because of all of the solo kills on Fizz and Gwen, their EXP is way higher than a champion that Draven would be traditionally hitting at this point in the game. So, basically, because these champions are anywhere from, like, yeah, they're about 2 levels higher on average, right? So, they have almost a Giant's Belt extra that Draven has to chew through. That's actually quite a big deal. And what I mean by Giant's Belt is like the base HP scalings as well as the base resists, right? So when you consider that, and when you consider that Gwen, because she's so accelerated, has access to more of her items, she has more HP and more durability as well. Yeah. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Bardette. Bardette's way of playing the game is totally legitimate. Like, the other thing that I don't understand is if you know that he's going to fucking play like this and you know that he's in your game, then you should just mentally be prepared that, like, this is how the game is going to play. And also, if you know that he's in your game and he's going to play this way, if you actually just play with him, you probably have a higher likelihood to win than the enemy team that is going to be playing against him, that are going to be fucking rage tilting at their top laner and like their jungler for fucking getting absolutely fisted because there's no coordination. I would actually argue that there's more of an advantage to being on bardinette's team than be playing against him. It's just really weird. Okay. Alright, Ludwig charges the Herald into the turret. Amazing. People don't like to change the way they play in solo queue. Of course they don't. But, like, I don't know. I almost see, like, the Bardette stuff is, like, fun. It was, like, I don't know. Back when I used to, like, ladder in StarCraft 1 and stuff, it was actually always fun for me to either play the weird maps or play a player that I knew that the game would just go a certain way. And that was always really fun to me. But at the same time, sometimes I got cancer. Like, sometimes, you know, you play against Octoberzerg and it's like, well, what all in, you know, like, the game's going to end in 10 minutes, and how's it going to go? Like, Octoberzerg is going to do something, and the game will end in 10 minutes. Like, either I'm going to win or lose in 10 minutes, right? That, like, sometimes that was really annoying. There was a couple of people where the games were just fun. It was also always fun for me to play against, what was his name? His name was Zpux. He was a Swedish Protoss player. And the reason that it was fun to play against Zpux is because this guy could not help but just play normal. Same with, there was this player, he still plays to this day, his name is Ranged. Back in the day, we used to be friends. But basically, Range would do 1 of 3 builds every game, and all of them were standard. So because I knew this, I could just play however the fuck I wanted, and that freedom felt like really nice.
How do you believe that these two teams will all understand the importance of Otacon?
I think so. I think that
Today they did the game 1 throw strat versus ball. Yeah.
something that would give Otacon away. Tyler will probably yell at them.
League is a multiplayer game. 1v1s are a different story. Yeah, but the game strategically is still treated as a 1v1, right? Because you're still ultimately trying to achieve the same goal. And by looking at it as a team game and not a 1v1 game, further suggests that you're more incentivized to coordinate with bardinette than actually play against him. Because if you know what he's the one that understands what he's doing the most and has the most experience on it. If you're aware of what he's doing, it's easier for you to coordinate with him and follow him than to play against him as an uncoordinated group of 5. It's just really weird. All the backlash and Humanoid's tweet was just like, he wins social media credit points, like he ratioed him and stuff, but Humanoid was just objectively wrong, like with what he said. Like, I don't know, it's just weird, and I don't understand why when the average league like Twitter base, which is like 25 plus, and Humanoid's like 27 or 26 or something like I don't know, shit's just weird. By the way, that you can just say things that are just so objectively fucking wrong and stupid. And it's like celebrated. It's so weird. Did I watch Brood War ASL now? Dude, fuck, man. I have to shower. I sweat so bad. I had such bad night sweats last night. So fucking gross. Dude, I started sweating involuntarily, like not involuntarily. Like, I started getting my hydrosis sweats even while I'm awake. It's bad. One of these days, I don't know. I'm just waiting for the one day where I wake up and my lung is just like declined or something, and like even if I do like a nebulizer or like breathing, it just doesn't respond. And then I know that the descent has started.
Set of boots, but they're very valuable. Move speed is a stat that is such a binary choice in League of Legends. Like, hey, do you
as a fan, you invoke logic without actually using logic. Talking about, wait, what?
Agent grabbing the boots, that's a big plus right now. Let's see if they can try to move in.
Oh.
Stop Team Ludwig from taking this.
Wait, are you talking about the humanoid tweet?
They have to know that they're there at the Dragon, but it doesn't look like they're going to try to stop it. T1 and the boys, they're going to go ahead and clean that one up. There's Soul Point, just like you were talking about.
Absolutely, and I mean, you saw them kind of think about it for a moment before starting to channel their back there. Just, I personally wouldn't have just completely given that up for free, but maybe that's
I don't know. Also, even seeing Reptile's tweet response to it was just really weird. Reptile's usually on the good side of things, but I don't know. All right, bye, Evie.